Good morning. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll start our today's session. We'll continue our previous topic, and that is nothing but the effect of negative feedback on the various parameters that we are studying of that amplifier circuit. You already we covered. I will just take the review and we'll continue with the next. Okay, is it visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, last time we discussed regarding the effect of that negative feedback on the input and output impedances of that amplifier. Out of these two impedances, first one we covered, and that is nothing but the effect on the input impedance. Okay, so whenever that input impedance is concerned, that is related to the input side, and at the input side of that amplifier, generally we are doing the mixing process, and as there are two types of mixings, that is nothing but series mixing and shunt mixing. So one by one, that last time we discussed, if the first condition was taken, if the mixing is in series with the input source, and as the mixing is in series, that means the input source will be a voltage source as shown, right? So Vs was shown, actual available input voltage to that basic amplifier will be Vi, and the feedback signal, that is Vf, which is 180-degree phase shifted as compared to Vs, correct? And that's why we are calling, actually it is a negative type of feedback, right? So see, what is the effect when that negative feedback is provided to that amplifier to its input impedance? So as shown, as RIF is equals to Vs by II, okay, that means what happens, the as that Vf opposes Vs, which will go on to decrease the value of this II, and as it is a denominator, so see the value of this input current with feedback and without feedback. You have to remember this one. I will give the hint. Okay. So see that RIF is nothing but, as written, it is Vs by II. That sentence I mentioned, if negative feedback is used, that is Vf is there, then it will go on to oppose the Vs, or it will go on to subtract from that Vs in our language, right? So when it will go on to oppose the Vs, what will be the effect on input current? That input current will get decreased, right? And as that input impedance is nothing but Vs by II, if the denominator term decreases, that is II, that means RIF, it is inversely proportional to II. And if II decreases, that means RIF will get increased, right? And hence, for series type of mixing, we concluded that RIF is greater than RI. Similarly, for next one, if there is shunt type of mixing, okay, that means the feedback network will be in shunt with the input signal source, and as it is in shunt, during our previous discussion, already I highlighted, whenever that two sources are connected in parallel, both should be a current sources, then and then they will get mixed with each other, either in phase or out of phase, okay. And that's why the shown source signal, it is IS, current source. Last time already I highlighted this IF, its direction, it is opposite to that of IS. It indicates what? There is a negative type of feedback. That means these two signals are out of phase from each other. Again, that RIF is mentioned as VI by IS. So whenever negative feedback will get provided, what will be its effect? Just read it over here, as that so compared to direction of that IS, II and IF are opposite, and that's why we can say that IS equals to II plus IF. The current drawn IS from the signal source gets increased than without feedback. That means whenever we will be want to use the negative feedback, this term will be there. That means IF will be there with feedback, right? And when IF will be there, that means more current will get drawn from the signal source, and that is IS, and hence the input impedance with feedback, that is RIF equals to VI by IF, is less than the input impedance without feedback. Okay, that means what? See, as IS is increasing in this case by using the negative feedback, as more current gets drawn from the signal source, current source, and its effect, again it is inversely proportional. RIF is inversely proportional to IS. Now as IS is increasing, that means RIF will get decreased. So in case of shunt type of mixing, we concluded that RIF is less than RI. Okay, and now we'll switch to the effect on output impedance. So as it is related to output side, at the output side of that amplifier, which process we are doing? We are doing the sampling process right now. Again, there are two types of sampling that we already studied, and that is nothing but voltage sampling and current sampling. So first case, again, I taken, that is, if there is a voltage type of sampling, then what will be the effect on output impedance, right? So before going to that, just note down two terms, that is output current and output voltage. Okay, so see, if the sample taken is voltage, logically it is very simple. ROF, if we want to define, that is related to output side, as it is a impedance, that means it will be equals to the respective voltage divided by respective current. That is nothing but output voltage divided by output current. Simply R equals to V by I, which V and which I. As ROF is concerned, that means the output impedance is concerned, we have to take the respective voltage and currents, that is output voltage and output currents. Okay, so just imagine if there is no feedback. Okay, that means if we consider the amplifier without any feedback, that means there will be no any sample taken from the net output, right? And if feedback is used, that means we are taking some sample and feeding back to the input side. That's why we are calling it as a with feedback right now. So if some sample is taken from the net output voltage, that is VO, that VO will get decreased. Is it? That means, for example, suppose we are getting that output voltage as 3 volt peak to peak, as per our practical also, right? So from that 3 volt peak to peak, if a small signal, for example, like 1 volt peak to peak, I sample and fed back to the input side, so the available output voltage will be only 2 volt peak to peak, because that 1 volt peak to peak sample I fed back to the input side, and that's why we are calling it as with feedback right now. So what will be the effect? As that ROF is defined VO by IO, that VO will get decreased whenever the sample taken will be from it as a voltage, and hence ROF decreases as compared to without feedback. It is very straightforward and very, very simple, right? Here you can mention that ROF is directly proportional to VO. So if VO decreases, ROF also will get decreased. And the same thing happens in this case. As we are taking the sample from the net output voltage as a voltage, that means voltage sampling, that means the net output voltage it will get slightly decreased, and hence the effect on the output impedance will be decreased. So ROF will be less than RO. Is it clear? Are you getting it? Now by how much factor is the change on that RI and RO, that mathematically today only we will go on to prove. Okay, so is it okay? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll switch to if the condition is current type of sampling. Right now, again it is related to output side. We are studying the output impedance and effect on it due to the negative feedback. See, you will observe I written that formula as it is, ROF equals to VO by IO, right? So if the sample taken is current, that's why we are calling it as a current sampling, right? Now it is connected in series to the load. That means we are taking the sample as a current. Okay, so if sample taken is current, from the net output current, that is IO, that IO will get decreased. Is it? As ROF is equals to VO by IO, now the denominator term gets decreased. ROF, it is inversely proportional to IO. Is it? So if IO decreases, that means ROF will get increased, and hence in general it is said that the output impedance gets increased by using negative feedback in case of current sampling, right? Now the most important table, you can compare all these things, whatever we studied, that is the effect of negative feedback on the various parameters, using a single table. You will observe in first 4 columns, it is applicable to all type of amplifiers. All type means voltage series, current series, voltage shunt, current shunt. Now again one more thing, remember in your syllabus only voltage series and current series analysis is given. That means only you have to study the in detail that voltage series and current series feedback amplifier. That voltage shunt and current shunt is not there, right? So no need to do the analysis part for the remaining two, that voltage shunt and current shunt. Only you have to concentrate on voltage series and current series feedback amplifiers. Is it okay? To see, you will observe the gain. First parameter I taken in this table as a gain. In general, that first within that first analysis, we derived that AVF is less than AV, right now, and mathematically we proven it also that AVF equals to AV by 1 plus beta A, AV beta AV or just A by 1 plus beta A, right? And that 1 plus beta A term we define it as a desensitivity, right now. So you will observe the transfer gain in case of all type of amplifiers with negative feedback, it gets decreased as compared to without feedback. So if it is voltage series, that means there will be a voltage type of sampling and series type of mixing. That means the basic amplifier will be a voltage amplifier, and hence its transfer gain it is denoted by AV. So if there is a feedback, then it will be AVF, and without feedback it will be AV. And hence it is written as AVF is less than AV. Now switch to the next one, that is current series. That means the sample taken is current and mixing done, it is in series. That means the input of that basic amplifier is voltage and output is current. That means it is a transconductance amplifier, and for transconductance amplifier its transfer gain it is denoted by GM. So with feedback it is written as GMF, and without feedback simply GM. So GMF is also less than GM. Now the voltage shunt. Sample taken is voltage and mixing is done in shunt. As the mixing is done in shunt, that means there should be a current source at the input side. Means the input to that basic amplifier will be current, and as the sample taken is voltage, that means the output should be a voltage. Then we can take the sample as voltage, and hence that amplifier, basic amplifier is trans resistance amplifier, of which the transfer gain, transfer ratio, it is denoted by Rm. So with feedback it is denoted as Rmf, and without feedback it is simply Rm. Again, as in general, that with feedback the transfer gain decreases. That's why I written it as Rmf will be less than Rm. And last one is current shunt. That means the sample taken is current as well as the mixing done is in shunt. That means to that basic amplifier, input and output both should be a current. That's why the basic amplifier is a current amplifier and its transfer gain is AI. So with feedback it is denoted by AIF, and without feedback it is simply AI. So AIF is less than AI. Now the next parameter we studied the effect of that negative feedback on the cutoff frequencies and the bandwidth of that amplifier. We derived over there also the lower cutoff frequency decreases with negative type of feedback, and higher cutoff frequency, that is FH, it increases by negative feedback. Okay, that's why you will observe that FLF, that is nothing but lower cutoff frequency with negative feedback, is less than lower cutoff frequency without feedback, that is simply FL. So throughout you will observe that FLF is less than FL for all type of amplifiers. Similarly FH, that is higher cutoff frequency, as already I told that as well as in detail we already discussed how that higher cutoff frequency increases. We derived that relation also between FHF and FH. So we observed by that derivation that FHF it is greater than FH. So throughout again for all type of amplifiers, higher cutoff frequency it increases, is it, as compared to without feedback. And the bandwidth is nothing but higher cutoff frequency minus lower cutoff frequency. So simply you will observe that bandwidth with negative feedback it increases as compared to without feedback. And one more point I mentioned during that study, that is gain bandwidth product of an amplifier, it always remains constant. Okay, so all these first four columns you will observe it is applicable to all type of amplifier, whatever may be the type of amplifier, but remaining two parameters, that is Ri and Ro, it is not same throughout to all type of amplifiers, right? That means what? See, for voltage series and current series feedback amplifier, that RIF is greater than Ri. Okay. Similarly, uh, for voltage shunt and current shunt, that RIF it is less than RI. Okay, so we'll take one by one so that it will be very clear to you. So the first topology, as it is voltage series feedback amplifier, that means there will be a sample of voltage and mixing in series. At your end, if your notebook and pen, just note down 2 points. Okay, for voltage amplifier, ideal voltage amplifier, for ideal voltage amplifier, input impedance is infinite and output impedance is 0. Okay, for ideal voltage amplifier, input impedance is infinite and output impedance is 0. Right. For current amplifier, input impedance, ideally again, input impedance is 0 and output impedance is infinite. You have to remember these two lines. For ideal voltage amplifier, input impedance is infinite, output impedance is 0. For ideal current amplifier, input impedance is 0 and output impedance is infinite. Is it okay? Are you noted it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see how to remember these last two columns. Okay, I will give the hint. See, in general, what we concluded, the effect of negative feedback on the input and output impedances, we have to say both impedances gets. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, what I told, for ideal voltage amplifier, as input impedance is infinite, and by using negative feedback, the impedances, both impedances gets improved. That means what? If we consider the first topology, that is nothing but voltage series feedback amplifier. In this topology, what is the basic amplifier? Voltage, right now. So if the basic amplifier is voltage amplifier, ideally its input impedance will be infinite and output impedance will be 0. Practically, we should achieve that input impedance as large as possible and output impedance as low as possible. Is it clear? See, you noted that first line for ideal voltage amplifier. Why we are calling it as a voltage amplifier? Because its input output both are voltages, right? As it is as we are considering as an ideal voltage amplifier, its input impedance will be infinite, output impedance will be 0. Practically, whenever we will be able to design and develop any voltage amplifier, its input impedance it should be as large as possible, as well as its output impedance it should be as low as possible. Practically, to achieve the input impedance as infinite as that of ideal case, as well as to achieve the output impedance as 0 as that of ideal case, it is not possible. So practically what is possible? Try to improve, try to increase the input impedance and try to decrease the output impedance as long as voltage amplifier is concerned. Okay. So see, as the first topology is voltage series, that means its input output both will be voltage. Basic amplifier will be a voltage amplifier. As we know, both impedances gets improved by using negative feedback. You will observe that RIF is greater than RI. That means by using negative feedback, input impedance gets increased as compared to without feedback. And output impedance, as long as voltage amplifier is concerned, the output impedance should be as low as possible. Ideally, it is 0 right now. So by using negative feedback, it gets decreased as compared to without. Are you getting it? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So is it clear for this first one, that is voltage series feedback amplifier, how to remember what is the effect on input impedance and output impedance by using negative feedback? How to remember it? I will be going on to give you the hints. Okay. So I will just repeat it again. As it is voltage series feedback amplifier, its basic amplifier will be a voltage amplifier. For ideal voltage amplifier, input impedance is infinite, output impedance is 0. Practically, for the design and develop voltage amplifier, input impedance we should achieve as large as possible, output impedance we should achieve as low as possible. Okay, so by using negative feedback, as we know that negative feedback will go on to improve both impedances. See, use the word improve, don't say increase or decrease, right? Because for this first topology, you will observe input impedance increases, but output impedance decreases by using negative feedback. And that's why the preferred word, it should be improve. Okay, so RIF, it increases, or RIF, it is greater than without feedback. ROF or RO with feedback is less than without feedback, and hence we can say this is the advantage of negative feedback. Both impedances gets improved right now. Now switch to the next one. Now it will be somewhat complicated for understanding purpose, but I will give the hint how to remember it again. See, the second topology mentioned, it is current series feedback amplifier, right? So concentrate on, first of all, type of mixing. That means on towards the input side. Type of mixing in this topology is series mixing. Series mixing is possible only when there is voltage type of source. Am I right? Are you agree with this? Series type of mixing, it is possible only when the signal source will be a voltage source. Right? Now, in series type of mixing, both sources should be a voltage sources. Both means what? The feedback signal and the actual original input signal source, that is Vs, or in general XS. That XS, it should be a Vs. As it is a Vs, feedback signal, it should be XF, which should be equals to Vf. Then and then, these two signals we can mix in series, and the topology is there for the same, that is series type of mixing, right? And the type of sampling is current. So looking towards this topology, what is the output of this amplifier? Fast. For the said amplifier, what should be the output? What should be the input? Will it be voltage, current, or voltage, current, or current, voltage, respectively? So simple. So many times I repeated it. So I will expect the answer from your side. For the second topology, that is current series feedback amplifier, to the given basic amplifier, what will be its input and what will be its output? What is the name of basic amplifier in this topology? Out of that four. Okay, I will repeat it. Voltage amplifier, current amplifier, transconductance amplifier, and last one, that is transresistance amplifier. Out of that four, for the shown second topology, that is current series feedback amplifier, what will be the basic amplifier? So easy. Yes, it is already in that game column, it is already written. It is a transconductance amplifier. Transconductance amplifier means what? What is its input and what is its output? Fast.
Voltage is input and current is output.
Yes, so simple. So why you are not responding? Okay, its input is voltage and output is current, right? So we'll concentrate on the first parameter, that is Ri. It is related to input side. Okay, what is the input of this amplifier? You already given the answer, that is voltage. It is related to voltage amplifier. Okay, for ideal voltage amplifier, input impedance is how much? You already written it, that is infinite, right? So as it is a transconductance amplifier, its input is voltage, which that you have to correlate with the voltage amplifier, ideal voltage amplifier. That means the input impedance of ideal transconductance amplifier, I can say, will be infinite. Are you agree with this? For ideal transconductance amplifier, input impedance will be infinite, because for ideal voltage amplifier, as its input is also voltage, it is infinite. Right now, that two lines you have to remember only, which I suggested you to note down. Okay. So for ideal transconductance amplifier, input impedance will be infinite. As we know, negative feedback will going on to improve the impedances. That means, just imagine if there are two types of input impedances, that means with feedback and without feedback, RIF is there and only RI is there. RIF means the input impedance of that current series feedback amplifier with feedback, and RI is nothing but without feedback. Okay. So as per our discussion, what will be the effect on RI and RIF, or what will be the comparison between RIF and RI? Will it be same? No. As we know that negative feedback will go on to impact it. Which type of impact it gives? It improves it. Okay. And that's why the RIF, it should be greater than RI. Is it clear for current series? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now switch to RO, that is output impedance. Now for this current series feedback amplifier, output is what? Current. You already answered it right now. So correlate it with the current amplifier. Current amplifier output is also current. Right? For transconductance amplifier output, again current. So for ideal current amplifier, how much is the output impedance? It is infinite. You noted it. Right? For ideal current amplifier, output impedance is infinite. So for transconductance amplifier, output is, as output is current, correlate it with the current amplifier. So what should be the effect on output impedance by negative feedback? If we say it will be want to improve it, ROF, it should be greater than RO. Is it okay? Is it okay? Or are you getting confused? Shall I explain it again? Just give me something, hint.
Please explain, sir.
Okay, good. So see, our second topology is current series feedback amplifier. Shall I use the blackboard? Just wait. I will use the blackboard so that hope so it will be somewhat more clear to you. So just wait. So see, if it is voltage amplifier, you already noted that Ri is equals to infinite. I am showing the ideal amplifier. RO is also equals to 0 for ideal voltage amplifier. Okay, so for ideal voltage amplifier, Ri is infinite, RO is 0. Similarly, if it is current amplifier, its input impedance, again ideal case, Ri is equals to 0 and RO is equals to how much? Infinite. Are you noted it at your end? Both are the ideal amplifiers. Okay. Is it visible? May I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, if we consider the first topology, that is voltage series feedback amplifier. In that voltage series feedback type of amplifier, what is the basic amplifier? Basic amplifier is voltage amplifier, because the output sample is taken as a voltage, mixing is done in series. Whenever the mixing is done in series, that means the input signal source, it should be a voltage. Whenever sample taken is to be a voltage, then the output should be a voltage, and then we can extract the sample as a voltage. That you know now, right? So the basic amplifier in case of voltage series feedback amplifier will be voltage amplifier, is it? So again, I will try to write the ideal input and output impedances for this voltage series. If it is RO, so how much it will be? Just you have to correlate this basic amplifier with these first two. These two are most important, right now. For voltage amplifier, input output both are voltage. For current amplifier, input output are both current. That's why accordingly we are calling it. So if it is voltage amplifier, right, correlate it with the input impedance of voltage amplifier. So it will be again infinite, and this one will be 0. Agree? Is it okay? Because it will be directly correlated with original voltage amplifier. For voltage series, for voltage series feedback amplifier, the basic amplifier is voltage amplifier, right now. Now the question is about this second topology, that is current series. So for this current series, I will draw the just simple block. The sample taken, it is current. This one is the taken sample, current, right now. And from where we are taking that sample, we are taking it from output side and fed back to the input with such type of mixing. So the mixing is series type of mixing, right now. So whenever that mixing is in series, that means your input signal source, it should be a which type of source? Voltage source.
Voltage.
Correct. And as you are taking the sample as a current, that means that sampling network, it should be connected in parallel. It will be like this, right? And we are feeding back that feedback signal like this. This is nothing but my VF. If I denote it with such type of sign, this feedback signal is nothing but what? VF. In general, it is XF, but already it is clear the type of mixing is in series. That means it should be a voltage source, and that's why directly I written it as VF. Okay. So see, the output of that amplifier is current, and what is the input to that amplifier? It is voltage, right? And that's why it should be a transconductance amplifier. Correct? It should be a transconductance amplifier. Now, about its input and output impedances. This is nothing but RIF. Okay. And this is nothing but ROF. Right. So see, RIF, whenever you have to decide, it is related to what? Voltage. Correct? So for ideal voltage amplifier, as it is related to voltage, go towards ideal voltage amplifier. How much is Ri? It is infinite. That's why here you have to write the same. That means RIF with negative feedback, or simply say Ri only, will switch later on, that Ri it should be infinite. Correct? Now the output is what? Current. Switch to the current amplifier. That means over here and to the output side. So for ideal current amplifier, how much is RO? It is infinite. So you have to write here RO as infinite. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So by using negative feedback, as we know, both impedances, that is Ri and RO, will go on to improve. Okay. That means practically for current series feedback amplifier, input impedance should be as high as possible. Similarly, RO, it should be as high as possible. Right. And therefore, we can write that RIF will be greater than Ri, and ROF also will be greater than RO. Is it clear now? In this case, for voltage series, RIF is greater than Ri, and output impedance as ideally it is 0. That means ROF, it should get decreased as compared to without feedback RO. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now switch to the next topology, that is suppose voltage shunt is taken. Okay, we will see for voltage shunt what kind of amplifier will be there. That means sample taken is voltage and mixing is done in shunt. That means the mixing will be like this, right now, in parallel. And sample taken is voltage. That means again, it will be possible only by connecting that feedback network in parallel with it, like this. So this will be our feedback network or voltage shunt type of sampling. Means output voltage, input current, that means it is a transconductance. Right now?
So trans resistance.
Oh, sorry.
Trans
It is a,
resistance.
yes, it is a trans resistance, not transconductance. Good. It is a trans resistance amplifier. Okay. Now, as input is what? Current. Output is what? Voltage. So first of all, concentrate on RI. See, input as a current, switch to current amplifier. So for current amplifier, how much is RI? It is 0. Okay, that means ideally you have to write input impedance of this trans resistance amplifier as 0. Output impedance, what is the output of this trans resistance? It is voltage.
0.
Correlated with voltage amplifier output. How much is RO? 0. Good. Okay. Again, as we know, by using a negative feedback, both impedances get improved. Improve means what? Practically, looking towards this one, practically both impedances should be as low as possible, right? And as we know, it is the advantage of negative feedback. As both impedances get improved, that means we can say RIF will be less than RI. Similarly, ROF will be less than RO. Is it clear? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now go to last one. That is current shunt. I will expect the answer from your side now. It is very, very simple. What type of sampling? Current. That means the output of this basic amplifier will be current. What type of mixing? Shunt. Shunt mixing means input signal should be a current. Right now? And that's why this basic amplifier will be current amplifier. Right now? And already we noted for current amplifier, RI is 0 and RO is infinite. Is it clear? So with feedback, as we know, it will be going to improve as compared to without feedback. That means RIF will be less than RI, and ROF, how we will write it? Greater than RO, because ideally it is infinite. Practically it should be as large as possible. And using negative feedback, we can improve it right now. That means ROF will be greater than RO. So I think you might have understood this comparative table properly. I hope so. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Our time is also over. So the next topic, see, already now we compared within that single table what is the effect on RI and RO according to the topology. That means for voltage series, what happens, for current series, what happens, and by how much factor it happens, that mathematically we will going on to prove it. But already I told, it's very, very simple. Whatever the factor will be there, either increase or decrease, it will be by 1 plus beta A times. Okay, that means capital D times. So see, in general, I will write it as 1 plus beta A. That is nothing but capital D sensitivity of that amplifier. Okay. So this A, it will depend on the type of topology. Type of topology means what? If that basic amplifier is voltage amplifier, then it will be AV. If it is transconductance amplifier, then it will be GM. If it is trans resistance amplifier, then this A is nothing but RM. And if it is current amplifier, then this A will be AI. Is it? But for all these, this term, that is 1 plus beta times of the transfer gain of the basic amplifier, it is denoted by capital D. Okay. So see, whenever that RIF, suppose for this current amplifier shown one, RIF, as we know, it is less than RI. That means you have to mathematically improve it like this. RIF will be equal to RI by 1 plus beta AI. Is it? Similarly, this ROF, as it increases, again we know it will go on to increase by how much factor? That is 1 plus beta A factor. As it is a current amplifier, this A will be AI. That's why I written it AI over here. That means this ROF will be equals to 1 plus beta AI times of RO. That means without feedback. Is it clear? See, during last time also, I already explained, as FLF is less than FL, how you are going to compare it? That FLF will be equals to FL by 1 plus beta A times. Right? As FHF is greater than FH, that means how you have to write it, how you have to compare it? FHF will be equals to 1 plus beta A times of FH. So simple. So that either increase or decrease that factor, it is 1 plus beta A and it is applicable to all parameters. So no need to worry or no need to mug up anything. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So mathematically, we will start that comparison from the next lecture.